The biggest piece of my project culminated in this of the makerspace that I'm going to create here at the high school where I'm the technology facilitator. So the image you're seeing is actually the top loft over our media center. And so this is the spiral staircase that goes up to that. So there's a lot of different stations that I've kind of conceptualized here, and I kind of want to walk you through what each one is. So the experience starts of the makerspace over here. So I've created what I call the nest. I'm calling this whole loft, the whole makerspace, the tree house, since it's up high in the media center. And the nest stands for necessary and engaging student thinking. And so we've got 3 couches here, and we've got 3 bean bags over here, and then we've got 2 collaborative tables with TVs on either end that people can sit around. So the first step that I really want to emphasize as I've been doing my research with Makerspace is that it really has to be purposeful. It's not just a room for people to just send their kids so they can go play for a period so they don't have to do any instruction. It needs to really engage them in critical thinking and problem solving. So the very first thing that students should have to do when they get to the makerspace is start in the nest. And so in the nest, that's what they'll do all their brainstorming with each other, they'll collaborate, they'll figure out what they're going to do, and they need to actually come up with a plan. A lot of what our students do with writing and with projects is they just start making it and whatever happens, happens. I want to be really intentional about the fact that they have to make a plan, have something written down, have something drawn out, and then work from that plan. Because I think those are life skills that our kids really, really need. So they'll start in this section, and then once they're ready to spread their wings, they can leave the nest. Isn't that cute? I think so. Okay, and then they have a choice of a couple of different stations they can go to. So I'm going to talk about the stations. So over here to the right of the nest is the lights, camera, action station. I was going to zoom in for you. Okay. So lights, camera, action, we have a huge green screen that covers about half of this wall. I'm in the process of making / modifying some poster stands so that they can hold an iPad so that the students, or an iPad or a computer, so the students can set those up. But we've also got a tripod with a little camera they can put there. So that'll be good for any sort of reader's theater, any sort of like immersive. The projects that I came up with were kind of like you're interviewing a historical figure, or you are giving us a tour of ancient Greece, something like that, where you need that green screen capability. And then to the right of that is an actual editing station. So there's going to be a TV mounted on the wall with a Apple TV so that students can AirPlay to it. And so there are 4 stools that we've gotten that'll go around this table. Because what we found is that iMovie and stuff like that are great for our kids because it gets them interacting with content and making things, but it kind of leaves this gap where with iMovie, one person has to then go and edit it. So all that work falls on one person. So having this editing station here adds to the expectation that everyone will be a part of the editing process and we'll get to see what that looks like and help make it happen. Over on this wall, hopefully, is going to be a little photo booth where students can do pictures for profiles, like historical character profiles. Okay, so that's the first station. That's lights, camera, action. And then over here, in this corner of the room, are the next couple. So on this wall, this is the create station, and obviously these are pegboards, so there'll be stuff there. So in the create station, like it says here, there'll be Legos, Connects, and crafting supplies, things that students could use to build something if that's what the lesson called for. Then over here, this is the explore station, also referred to as take apart station. Students tear apart old technology to find out what makes it tick. That's going to be great for our OCS classes and for any technology classes that have some sort of deconstruction element where they have to take something apart and then use the pieces from that. So right next to that, I've put on this short wall, this is the robotics station. We've invested in, I think, 6 different Arduino kits so that students can practice coding, programming, building things. One of the projects I came up with my science teacher for that is we are going to build a Arduino speedometer so that students have to build a projectile somewhere over here, probably in the recyclable station, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. but they have to build some sort of projectile, and then they use the speedometer that they created to measure the speed, and then that's the competition element. In the middle of the room, this is this really great built-in that has a lot of storage, so that's where we're going to keep the kits and stuff while there are not students up there. The final station is right here, and it is the recyclable material station. So our teachers, we've been doing a collection for the past month while I've been creating this project, and so now we have, I think, 3 dozen water jugs. We have a bunch of egg cartons, lots of cardboard, lots of boxes, so that stuff will be over here, and then students can use that for their projects too. The last piece that I want to show you is over here. We had an old ISS room that was not being used, and so there were all these really great little cubicles in there. So this actually, in our media center, this is a little fence that looks down into the media center. So we've put these desks over here so that students, if they're working individually, can take their supplies and go sit at a desk to work so they're not distracted. They can take their plan, they can focus at their little desk. There are a couple of things that I want you to notice about this. Number 1, there is no teacher desk. There is no teacher podium. We did that on purpose because we feel that if there was a teacher desk or a teacher podium, then the teacher would be stationary. But the purpose of a makerspace, it's not for teachers to be super hands-on, but for them to be super accessible. So the teacher needs to be walking from group to group, giving a little bit of guidance, because for the first couple of times, entering a makerspace for these kids is going to seem very foreign because they've never had the flexibility to do something that they've imagined and actually create that. So there's no teacher desk. I think that's really important. Basically, this room can be used in a couple of ways. So I have created an online calendar, so to speak, so that people can reserve the room, and I'll show you that in a minute. But in addition, they can reserve the whole room if they want to do kind of what I just said and have a project where they start in the nest and come up with their idea, and then they choose their station. Or a teacher can say, I want to reserve the nest, the explore, and the create sections. And then another teacher could be up there doing the lights, camera, action section. So the pieces can be discrete, or they can be, used as a whole. Under the makerspace, in this area, is a big section of desks, tables in the media center. So we are going to use that section to help differentiate for teachers, so that teachers can be down here doing instruction, and as students kind of are grabbing the instruction and they know what they're doing, they can come up the stairs to the nest, to the makerspace with me, and then we can run through the actual maker part of it. So it just adds a couple of different elements to how the learning process will take place. It makes it a little bit more organized and a little easier, I think. So yeah, that is my product. That is my makerspace.